Okay, so hi guys, I'm Sunny, and today we are going to be working on problems where we have to work backwards to find our answers. And I'll show you guys how to do that right here. So, we see in example A, they give us our ending one, right? We have our answer right here as 16. And we know that to go from A all the way to 16, they give us all the operations, I guess, to get there. So we don't know A, but we do know 16, and we know what was done to A to get to 16. So the easy way to do this, right? So we'll look at 16 right here, and we know that the number in our second box added 4 to get to 16. So logically, right, that means that we should subtract 4 from 16, right? Because if we added 4 to a number to get 16, then that means we could just subtract 4 from 16 and get the same number. So we have 12. Now we reason out the same thing with our first box, right? Because the number in our first box subtracted 2 to get to 12. So that means that logically we can just add 2 to 12 to get the number in our box, right? So we're gonna check, right? We'll check so far what we have. So we have 14, we subtract 2, we get 12, okay, that fits. And then we add 4 to 12 and we get 16. So far everything makes sense. So now for our final step where we're coming to A, what we do, right, we do the exact same thing. So A was multiplied by 2 to get to 14. So now we think of a number, right, that was multiplied by 2 to get 14, and that is just going to be 7. And what we did was we just divided by 2. So what we did, right, we just did the reverse of every little operation to get our answer, and that is how we worked backwards. So the same thing goes for B, right? So we know that this number subtracted 5 to get 15, and this number added 5 to get to our second box, and B divided by 3. So now we're going to go with our method, right? We just reverse all the operations. So this is a minus 5, we turn it into a plus 5. This is a plus 5, we turn it into a minus 5. And this is a divided by 3. So we're gonna do multiplied by 3. So now we just work backwards, right? What's 15 plus 5? Well, that's going to be 20. And what's 20 minus 5? Well, that's going to be 15. And what is 15 times 3? Well, that's 45. So we double check our answer, right? What is 45 divided by 3? Well, that's 15. Yep, that works. What is 15 plus 5? Well, that's 20, right? And what is 20 minus 5? That's 15. So we have our right answer, and B is equal to 45. So now let's work on some word problems, right? Exact same thing, except we have to set it up ourselves, right? So we have an original number that we don't know. We are going to spend $4, right? It tells us Heather spent $4. So that means that we lost $4 from our original amount. So that means that we have a minus 4, right? We lost $4. She used half of the remaining money. So when we use half of it, that means we're dividing by 2. So that's why we have a division by 2. And then she is left with $4, so they give us our final number, after buying a hair clip that cost $2. So again, just like she spent $4 in the beginning, we minus 4. She spent $2, so we minus 2. And we already know what to do, right? The hardest part was just setting it up, so we do the reverse, right? So minus 2 plus 2, divided by 2 times 2, minus 4 plus 4. So now we do, what is 4 plus 2? Well, it's 6. What is 6 times 2? Well, that's 12. And what is 12 plus 4? Well, that is 16. Check our answer. 16 minus 4 is indeed 12. 12 divided by 2 is indeed 6. And 6 minus 2 is indeed 4. So our correct answer that she started with was 16. So now we're going to move on to this one, right? Same thing. we have a floor that Tara lived on. We know that Tara went up 4 floors, so we add 4 to our original. And then she went down 6 floors, so minus 6. And then finally, she went up 3 floors, so plus 3 to get to the 9th floor. So that is pretty straightforward. Again, what we do is we reverse, right? Minus 3, plus 6, minus 4, and then we just go through the problem. So what is 9 minus 3? Well, that's 6. Well, what is 6 plus 6? That's 12, and 12 minus 4 is 8. So now we double check. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6, and 6 plus 3 is 9. So our floor that Tara lives on is floor 8. Now this one is a more complex word problem, but it's still the same principles. So we have 20 sparrows that are resting on 2 lampposts. So 4 sparrows flew from the first to the second lamppost. So first, let's start setting it up. So we have a first lamppost and we have a second lamppost. And we know that 20 sparrows are resting on the lamppost. We don't know how many each had, right? Not yet. But we do know that 4 of them flew from the first to the second lamppost. So that means we lost 4 from the first one, right? And we added 4 to the second one. And then they tell us that 2 moved from the second one to the first one. So if we know that 2, right, we add 2 to the first lamppost and we subtract 2 from the second second lamppost, yes. And we know that each sparrow number that we end up with is the same for both the first and the second lamppost. So we set it up, right? We did minus 4 and plus 4, minus plus 2 and minus 2, and then we do our operations, and we end up with 10 on each. And then how many sparrows were at each lamppost? First, well, we do the exact same thing, right? Minus 2 plus 4. So what is 10 minus 2? Well, that's 8 plus 4 is 12. What is 10 minus 4, right? 10 plus 2 is 12, minus 4 is 8. And then we double check, right? What is 12 plus 8? Well, that's 20. Well, that matches up because we had 20 sparrows originally. And then we check our first lamppost, so 12 sparrows on the first lamppost. We know that it lost 4 sparrows, so now we have 8 sparrows. But then we gained 2 sparrows from the second lamppost, so now we have 10. So we have 8 sparrows on the second lamppost, right? And then we know that we gained 4 sparrows from the first lamppost, so that means that we have 12. And then we lost 2 sparrows because we gave some to the first lamppost, so we have 10. And the number of sparrows on each lamppost is the same. So everything matches up and your numbers are correct. And that is all we have for problems where we have to move back.